Welcome to the wonderful world of multi-percussion. Multi-percussion is short for multiple percussion, and it refers to playing a collection of percussion instruments kind of grouped together as one instrument. In a lot of ways, it's kind of like the classical version of drum set. A drum set really is not one single instrument, but a snare drum, a bass drum, several toms, several cymbals, all collected together and played as one collective instrument. And multi-percussion is kind of the classical or the art music approach to that same concept. Now, the fun thing and the challenging thing about playing multi-percussion music is that every multi-percussion piece calls for a different collection of instruments. The climax of our album is track 9, Dance of the Drums, by one of our favorite composers, Gene Koshinsky. And in this track, Jody and I are both playing a medium-sized multi-percussion setup made up of several drum sounds, several metal sounds, wooden claves, and also the conch shell, which really puts it over the top. My setup here is 2 congas and 2 bongos. Also have a China cymbal that Jody and I actually share in the piece, as well as a gliscon. And these instruments are all notated on the same sheet music as if they are different notes on the piano. This line is this drum and this space is that cymbal. And every time you learn a multi-percussion piece, you have to learn a new instruments notation to read, because every composer will take a different group of instruments and arrange them on a staff in a different way. And so it's kind of challenging, but it's also very fun. Jody's setup in Dance of the Drums is a little bit different than mine. She has a large bass drum and then 3 toms. And both of us kind of play these very cool interlocking drum parts. My drums tend to be a little higher in pitch with these smaller and tighter tuned hand drums. And then Jody's toms and bass drum are lower in pitch, and together it creates a really full and groovy collection of drum sounds. Multiple percussion has always held a really special place in my heart, and I think it's because as a young percussionist, I started out being much more interested in drums than in pitched percussion instruments. I think a lot of young percussionists are scared of learning notes and learning to play the marimba and the xylophone, and that was definitely me in my junior high and high school days. But as I delved more into classical percussion and learned more about reading music and more about all these different great instruments, multi-percussion was something that was opened up to me, because now that I could read more complex sheet music and play the marimba and play the steel pan, I could also play these really cool multi-percussion pieces. And so to this day, I just get really excited about any opportunity to play some classical drum set, to get a bunch of instruments together and kind of learn a new instrument that is made up of what are now old and familiar instruments.